I shall we start? I was waiting for others to be right? It's not coming because of a long weekend. Maybe, right? Anyway, so then we had a detailed discussion last week, actually very effective lecture. We had a long discussion about audit process, what are the planning activities, and then how we can do select the significant account spots, all the things discussed, right? And then today I will summarize this. I have already discussed this. I discussed this word sentence as well, right? Paragraph. Have we discussed this? Yes. I told you that this paragraph it summarizes the whole audit process to a paragraph. It's the normal audit process, right? After completing planning and risk assessment, as auditor we have an audit plan. Audit plan derived from audit strategy. Audit strategy to the audit plan. Audit strategy. What's the strategy we are using for this particular company, particular industry? And it's a kind of a direction. So here we have three elements: scope, timing, and direction. Audit strategy discuss about these three elements. What's the direction? What's the timing? What's the scope? Scope means what's the areas we are going to cover? What's the engagement? That is statutory audit or special purpose audit? What's the scope you have? It's a review engagement or financial statement element? It's a scope. Which time you are focusing? Annual, interim, or 6 months, 3 months, right? And direction. What's your direction? Who are the people you are using? And what are the areas you are going to focus? What are the risk aspects you are going to focus? That's all about the direction, right? How we are going to lead this engagement? That's all about direction. So this is the strategy. So normal strategy is a kind of a word we can use in the business as well. Business strategy. Business strategy. Strategy means the way we are doing to achieve a goal. How business doing their process and procedures to achieve a business objective. That's all about what is strategy. Business strategy, right? Business strategy can be changed. We can, to achieve one particular target, we may have different strategies. X person can use one strategy, Y person can use one strategy. Likewise, this audit strategy can be selected by the auditor. He can use a different strategy for different audit. That depends on the professional judgment. That's all about audit strategy. Audit එකක් කරනකොට strategy එක මානෙ කොහොමද? ඒක අනුව තමයි අපි plan එක හදන්නේ. නේද? ඔයා සරලව ගත්තොත් if you are planning a trip එකේ මුලින්ම ඔයා plan එක හදන්නේ strategy එක plan කරනවා. Strategy means whole perspective. What are the areas you are focusing? You are a kind of a person not interested in these spiritual places like religious places. You want to go like calm place and stay some time and come. Right? So then you are focusing like that. And how about your food? And then how much of time? How at the weekend or 3 days or 1 week trip, right? The timing and the way you are going. Are you using a railway or normal private vehicle. Then all those things are a strategy. According to that strategy, you are plan, you do the plan. That is what? That is at what time you are leaving, what are the items you are taking, and then what's the type of vehicle you are using, non-AC, AC, right? How many members you are going to participate in the trip. All those parts under your audit plan. So then you can feel that, you can understand that this audit plan will be derived from the audit strategy. Like that, in audit also, audit strategy will derive the audit plan. Audit plan we are discussing about nature, timing, and extent. Nature, timing, and extent. This is so important. Nature, timing, and extent. Nature, timing, and extent about what? Audit procedures. Audit procedures. We need to design nature, timing, and extent of audit procedures. Audit procedures will be decided, will be address the risk. What are the risk aspects we are focusing? Control risk and the inherent risk. Here we have another risk. What is that? Detection risk. Detection risk is auditors, right? This is the risk related to the company. Inside of the company, these are the risk factors we are focusing. This risk have been calculated to the which level? මේ risk එක මොන level එකකද calculate කරන්නේ? ඉස්සත් එක කතා කරන්නේ මේ risk එක calculate මොන level එකකද risk එක calculate අපි risk එක කතා කරනකොට control risk inherent risk කියලා. ये risk එක මොන level එකකද calculate finance statement level එක කතා කරන්නේ. Overall finance statement level financial statement අපේ එකේ level එක කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද? SAP එක ගැන කතා කරනකොට level එක කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. overall SAP එක ගැන කතා කරන්න. ඊට පස්සේ overall one batch එකක් ගැන කතා කරනවා. one lecture එකක් ගැන කතා කරනවා. නේද? ඒ වගේ financial statement වල level එක තියෙනවා කියලා කතා කරන්නේ. financial statement level එකයි session level එකේ තියෙන මානෙ පොත් ඒක හොඳට දැනගෙන ඉන්න. ඒක ඇඟට දැනෙන්න ඕන. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මේ risk එක calculate අපේ risk calculate main reason එක to issue the audit opinion, right? So then for issue the audit opinion we have financial statement, draft financial statement. Draft financial statement consists with elements, 5 elements. The statement, balance sheet, statement of comprehensive income, all those elements, right? And then financial statement elements. This is the financial overall financial statement level. This financial statement elements level. You must understand statement of financial position again, you know, another cash 10,000, PP&E 15,000. What is this? This is the balance level. අපි මේ level එකේ යන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් මේ risk එක calculate කරනවා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද නේද? මොකක්ද risk එක කියන්නේ? අර සමහරවල් ගන්න ඕන. පාඩම් කරන්න කොහෙවත් තියාගන්න එපා. දැන් පාඩම් වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ඊ සතියේ අද මතක නැත්නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් එක්සෑම් මතක් කරන්න බෑ ඔඩි. මොකද මතක තියාගන්න. හැමදාම මේක මේ විදිහට මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. අද මේක අහගෙන මේ සතියේ ඊළඟ ටිකේ බ්ලැන්ක් වුණොත් මතක කරන්න බෑ. හරි සරලව ගන්න. මොකද draft financial statement we are going to issue a audit opinion. Audit opinion, right? So then we can say that audited financial statement. To get this answer, we are going to issue audit opinion. This is our job. This is the process we are in detail we are discussing. Next whole lecture series is 80% we discuss about the process of issuing this audit opinion. Right? Once you are issuing the audit opinion, we have an overall risk. What is that? Issuing an incorrect audit opinion. We are issuing a clean opinion. At the time, we are having material misstatement in the financial statement. That is purely audit risk. Purely audit risk. So that's for the overall financial statement. So then to having material misstatement, we can calculate the risk to this level. How much of risk we have. So then the financial statement elements level and the balance level. Risk impact අපි පොඩි level එකකටම calculate කරන්න බලන්න. එතන තමයි overall financial statement risk එක identify. So not we stop from the balance. What we did? So we split this balance to accession. So then in cash we have completeness, existence, valuation, height and obligation, presentation and disclosure. We have set of accessions. So then we evaluated risk for this each and every accession. Combined risk plus internal risk. What is the risk we are focusing? The cash balance. Cash balance is the risk. Cash balance is the higher. Financial statement is the balance sheet checker. Account statement is the financials. පොඩ තියෙන්නේ. අපි ස්ප්ලිට් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ස්ප්ලිට් කරලා in detail description කරනවා. So then we have financial statement element balances accession. To the accession level, අපි මේ financial statement හරිද කියපු එක අපි මේ balance level එකට ගිහිල්ලා අපි මෙතනින් මොකක්ද අහන්නේ? cash එකේ completeness හරිද? So how to ensure that the completeness of cash balance. For that we have control risk and the internal risk. We calculated this to the accession level. Keep in mind this. We calculated that risk to the accession level. Now next step what is that? We know the accession level risk now. We are going to plan. Without having the accession level risk, we can't plan any audit procedure. So then, this accession level risk will be addressed by the audit procedures. This audit procedures, nature, time, and extent will be summarized in the audit plan. That will be derived from the audit strategy. That's the thing. ඔක අමාරුද බැරිද කියලා පොඩක් ඉතින් කියන්න අමාරු නම් තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම්. I think you are comfortable. Right. So here we have related risk. I have already discussed this inherent risk. control risk and detection risk. Overall audit risk we can divide it into three: control risk, inherent risk, and the detection risk. Initially, we are discussing about inherent risk. Inherent risk means without focusing about control risk, what is the default inbuilt risk related to that asset or whatever the asset or whatever the balance. Inherently, some of the areas having risk. Inherently risky. Why the travel control inherently risky. That's all about inherent risk. So then, if it is a cold day, if you are having ice cream or some moonlight, there's a risk of having weather. But the reservation probably they got something. So those are inherent risks. Inherently, we are having a risk. So, in auditing, in balances also, some of the areas inherently we are having a risk. Inherently, as a management, they are facing the risk. So, cash area and cash and then tables and building all assets. But those can be keeping outside. But cash is difficult, right? Relating to cash, there's an inherent risk. Inherent risk is there. What is period? Cash and inherent. What is the some of the areas, some of the assets, we are having separate inherent risk. The accession level may be different. Accession risk level may be different. You can understand, right? So the PP&E, like a building. Building is asset. Cash also asset. The asset definition, when the assets are of past event, we are controlling the resource without having future benefit, which will be controlled by the entity. That's the asset definition. So then cash and PP&E both are assets, right? So then both are assets, same accessions. Accessions same. So as auditor, what are the accessions we are going to cover? Completeness, valuation, right and obligation, and then presentation and disclosure, and then valuation. So then you can understand same asset, same accessions, but accessions wise risk level is too much difference in between two assets. How can you understand it? So then you have cash now. Cash, pada 1011 10 10 better lagi mana? Better na value juga kiye lagi. Pada amal tu Wali mana yang ni buat itu pun ada lagi. Ambil itu dah hayat. Master. Tidak usah. Same answer will be given by each and everyone. Wali mana? Hotel building dia better. Kita kasih dia. What's the value you can bring to this building? So then the answer you are giving totally differs with the answer someone else giving. That answer will be totally differs with the answer will be given by a hello world. So then there's a risk of valuation. How about the cash risk and the building risk of valuation? What is the high risk to determine the value? Not the cash but the building. Accession level risk may be different. Here in cash to the valuation, you don't have inherent risk. But building valuation have inherent risk. How about existence? Building existence relationship. Cash existence relationship. For that, for cash, how about the risk of existence? Or cash figure? Cash figure every level. On the higher cash figure every level. Hotel every level. Clean the existence longer. Hotel building existence longer. Existence is that availability. Is that exit as at that date. So the hotel building is available. Yeah. Hotel building existence in the receiver minimal, low. But for cash existence in receiver very. Now you can feel that the accession level, these levels may be changed. These levels may be changed. That depends on the internal risk related to that accession, that balance, right? So whatever the internal risk, what management can do is they can implement controls. They can implement controls for cash. What's the control you are putting? Are you keeping that on the drawer? No. You are putting safe. You are putting dual control keys with the sum of the safe, and then whatever extra cash you can deposit to the bank, and you are having uninsured insurance policy. You are having different controls, preventive plus preventive. You are putting controls. If you can see internal risk, management responsible to put controls. Are you putting 10 security guards to the building? What a Atala in the security guard or the building guard? Building guard, it is looking that. So then you are putting controls. Okay. So then building. Right. So then once you are putting a control, you had an internal risk. Now you are putting control based on the risk level, right? Once you are creating control, then again it's creating a risk. Yesterday we discussed. What is that? Let's call. Let's call control risk. Risk up here. Salary that we made. Control up there. You are going to control. You are going to fix CCTV. You are going to fix. You are going to have a dual control safe. Whatever the control, right? Once you are putting a control, that will address the internal risk. Once you are putting a control, at the point of you are starting the control, automatically another risk will appear. What is that risk? Control risk. So then you are putting a control with expectation, right? The deviation from the control expectation we can define as control risk. Then internal risk is the control එක දැම්මා. Control එක හරියයි කියලා risk එකක් තියෙනවා. නේද? අපි අපිට internal risk එකක් තියෙනවා ඉතින් නැගිටින්න බෑ. මොකක් වෙනවද? ඒකට මොකද අපි කරන්නේ? ඒකට control එකක් විදිහට හේතුන් කියලා ගන්නවා. අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? එல்லாம் මේකද. ඒක දුර control එක. ඒවත් ඒ කතාව විතර අහලා කියනවා අතල්ලා දාන්න එපා. ඔයාලා මනස තියාගන්න. නේද? ඒකට ඔයා එලාම් එක තියෙන කන්ට්‍රෝල් එක දානවා. මොකද එලාම් එකේ කන්ට්‍රෝල් එක දානකොටම we are having another risk whether that alarm will be activated at the exact time. නේද? එලාම් එක වදින කියලා risk එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක කියලාද? ඔව්. එලාම් එක වදින වැදුනත් ඇහැරෙයිද? වැදුනත් ඇහෙයිද? ෆෝන් එක ඇඳ යටට වැටිලාද? නේද? එතකොට ෆෝන් එක බැටරි ලෝ නම් ෆෝන් එක ඩෙඩ් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එලාම් එක තිබ්බොත් එලාම් එක වදින්නේ නැහැ. So then it's called control risk. We had internal risk, put a control, and then again we are going with the risk whether this control will be activated on time or not. So then, as a equation of inherent risk and control risk, the final result will be right. That's all about risk of material misstatement. That's the risk of material misstatement, risk of the company side risk. Right? So then that was evaluated to the assessment. Accordingly, we plan audit procedures. So then we discuss about inherent risk and the control risk. And then detection risk. Detection risk relating to the auditor's side, right? So then inherent risk, control risk is there. So then that's management side. And then here we have the auditor side. Whatever the audit procedures, whatever the judgments, whatever the sample testing, conclusion, sampling tools, as auditor they can decide. So the once he's deciding all those things, according to his experience and qualifications and whatever the expectations, he can do mistakes. He can do mistakes. According to that mistakes, audit opinion can be having impact. Right? So the management side, there's no high risk. They have addressed through the controls. Risk of material misstatements may be low, right? But the auditor side, they are not doing well. They are not performing well. They are not doing adequate audit procedures. If it is so, it will impact the audit opinion. This is basically impact to the audit opinion, risk to the audit opinion, challenges to the audit opinion from management side, from auditor side. Auditor issue up करो तो audit opinion लेने वाला देना. Management के issue कर लेना, audit opinion लेने वाला देना. Management के issue याद देखा है. Inherently आप risk लिया ना, and then control risk लिया. So then this is the whole equation. That's all about audit risk, inherent risk plus control risk plus detection risk. So then again we have kind of a concept called business risk. What is that? Business risk. How it relates to this business risk? We have this inherent risk and then control risk and then detection risk. It's all about audit risk. And as a business, what do you call that business risk? Business risk is, as a business, not the audit side, as a business, what are the challenges? What are the threats to achieve their business objectives? What are challenges? How they are going to deviate from their objectives and expectations? That's called business risk. So what are the examples? Competition, inflation, and quality supply, legal regulations in the country, political impact, all those things can be considered as business risk. So then, business risk will impact to the inherent risk. Business risk will impact to the control risk. But we can't say that audit risk equal to the business risk. That is, those are two different concepts. What are the similarities? This is addressing the audit opinion. This is addressing the business objectives. This is focusing about audit opinion. This is focusing on business objectives. Deviation from the business objectives we call as business risk. Deviation from the correct opinion we call as audit risk. for the same entity, right? The same entity. Keep in mind all those things. And then again, we consider that as concept. Once you are dealing with this risk, significant risk. Significant risk. We have control risk, we have inherent risk. How we can identify significant risk? What do you mean by significant risk? That's important. Significant risk can look up. What is significant risk can? Significant risk. Maybe a inherent risk, maybe a control risk. How we can consider that as significant? Yes, to some extent correct. Material. So the just materiality can consider that as an answer. The risk එකක් තියෙනවා. How we can define as significant? Impact එකක් තියෙනවා. What significant? අද ලොකු impact එකක් තියෙනවා. What හරි financial significant දෙනවා. Significant දෙනවා මොනවද? පොඩ්ඩක් සල්ලි දැන් මේ රිස්ක් එකක් සිග්නිෆිකන්ට් කියලා මොනවද බලන්න. වඩා රිස්ක් එකක් තියෙනවා. වඩා රිස්ක් එකක් තියෙනවා. මොකක්ද රිස්ක් එක? කම්පැනි කියන්නේ කම්පැනි කියන්නේ ඩවුන් සවුත් කෝස්ටල් රීජන් එක. අර මොකද්ද රිස්ක් එකක් තියෙනවා? සුනාමි ආවොත් වගේ බිල්ඩින් එකක් කැරෙලා යනවා කියලා නේද? එතකොට tsunami ආවොත් වාගේ බිල්ඩින් එක ගැලවිලා යනවා කියන රිස්ක් එකක් තියෙනවා. It's kind of a natural disaster related risk. That risk is that a significant risk? That is significant risk. So then we need to evaluate that. How are we going to evaluate? We need to consider impact. Impact plus what? Frequency. It's important. We call as significant risk here. This is a significant risk. So then it should be impact should be high, frequency should be high. How about this tsunami? Impact may be high, but the frequency very low. It is not a significant risk there. Magnitude and occurrence, two other words. Magnitude means impact, occurrence, frequency of occurrence. Very less, right? In a significant risk, you have to very probability impact frequency and the impact should be high for significant risk. Impairment is a significant risk for bank. Right? Impairment is a significant risk for bank. Impairment always is a high value. Frequency also very high. Right? Impairment. And then it's a significant risk. Now I think we are comfortable with inherent risk, control risk, detection risk, business risk, and the significant risk. All are concepts, right? That will be linked with the one question. That will be linked with the business risk question. What are the business risks you can identify? How you are going to relate this business risk to audit risk? How we are going to relate that to the is that audit risk related to a significant risk? All those things should be intelligent. That's about risk. Right? You can get different examples to business risk, to significant risk, to inherent risk, to control risk. You may have different examples. To detection risk, example to a hotel company. होटल कंपनी का विजुअलाइज करेंगे नहीं सर होटल कंपनी का होटल लेकर hotel level financial statement here, and then you are here as auditor. Now, I'm going to discuss examples relating to this type of risk. As an owner for business, we have a business risk. What are they? High competition, less number of with the fuel prices and all. Then the number of the prices, input management, whatever the inputs we are using very expensive. And then with the political stability, instability in the country, foreigners are not coming to the country. That may be a risk. Those are business risks to the hotel industry. And then what else? Inherent risk. Inherent risk. Revenue recognition of a hotel. We have a inherent risk. Why? Let's say a guest in 31st night, guest came to check in to the hotel like 28. He will be checked out like 8 Jan. So then for this year, 3 days will be calculated for this year. So then revenue recognition is a inherent risk in the industry. Revenue recognition. Inventory count in a bar. Bar के inventory count करने से जिसके काफी है bar के तीनों ने bottle expensive bottles are there, liquor bottles. Liquor bottles, bottle wise we can easily count. So some of the bottles we have shots. 2 shots we have already sold. We are having another 6 shots in the bottle. So this type of how many number of bottles we have? Like more than 600 bottles halfway used. So then how you can calculate halfway used, halfway consumed bottles for the inventory count? It's an inherent risk in the industry. Right? That's what we focus. For this, what you have to do? Management side, they have to put controls. Once you are getting your shots, the liquor count, keep in mind the remaining stock should be taken very carefully. We need to have expert support on this. So the management should put controls. Auditor, detection risk should be reduced by using proper sample. They have to use skepticism. That's about detection risk. Right? Significant risk. Significant risk in a hotel, building valuation, revenue recognition may be significant risk. Frequency, revenue frequency is high. If there's a deviation, impact also high. Likewise, whatever the company should have ability to identify what are the inherent risks, business risks, control risks, significant risks, all those aspects should be in your mind. You have to have a proper interlink in between these concepts. Otherwise, if you are taking these as definitions, practical algorithm, practically understand. That's about risk assessment and audit plan and audit strategy. Okay, I hope you are comfortable. Right. We started the audit. Acceptance of the client, right? Client accepted, and then make ආයෙත් පොතේ ලියන්න එපා. මේක 10 පාරක් ලියන්න බෝඩ් එක. ආයෙත් පොතේ ලියන්න තේරුමක් නැහැ. හිතේ තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Acceptance of the client, acceptance of the engagement, right? And then what's the next step? The next step of engagement. Letter of engagement. And then we have the audit team. Fixed audit team, and we send to the field work because we done with the LOE. And then what we did, understand the business, understand the entity level control, right? And then draft financials, and then maturity levels, right? Then significant accounts and significant disclosure selection, right? And then Scott identification, right? Then for each and every Scott, we need the walkthrough test. May I අලුත් වගේ තමයි මම කියන්නේ. හිත ඔඩිටර් කෙනෙක් මම කියන්නේ ටස්ට් එක හිත කියවෙනවා. හිත කියන්නේ කම්ෆර්ටබල් නෑ. ෆස්ට් ටයිම් අහනවා පා. අද තමයි අහන්නේ සීට් එක. ඉන්නේ කතාවක් වගේ මතක නැහැ. these words are මතක් කරගන්න right. Walkthrough test. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of a walkthrough test? Even පාරද මේ කියන්නේ නේ. Huh? Test to control effectiveness, yes. But what are the areas you are focusing? Effectiveness. The walkthrough, මොනවද කරන්නේ? Control එකක් කියලා බැලුවොත් අපිට තිබුණා නේද areas තුනක් design, implementation and operation. In the control we have three stages. As a management they have to design it first and they have to implement it. They can't stop in implementation, they have to operate during the field. Right? So then as auditor under walkthrough test they are still in which stage this? They are still in planning and risk assessment. We have not yet started audit. We started audit, sorry. We not yet started execution. We are in the planning and risk assessment. Walkthrough is a risk assessment activity. Right? So they are only focusing on not the operation, but the implementation and design. Right? Walkthrough test. Right? After walkthrough test, you are doing the combined risk assessment. Combined risk assessment to the assessment level. Assessment level. Right? According to the combined risk assessment, we are planning the planning audit procedures. We can say that planning audit approach. That is audit approach. And the audit approach, audit procedure. And then this whole story will be summarized to one particular document that's called audit planning. Audit planning memorandum. It's a planning document of the audit. What is included, whatever the material levels, whatever the selected significant accounts and disclosed, walkthrough results, CRA. We call that this is which kind of CRA? This is the initial CRA. The initial CRA. Initial CRA. But why can't it like this initial CRA? But the reason for mentioning that as initial CRA, are we are having another secondary CRA? Yes, we do have. Why? Under this walkthrough, we evaluated what? Only design and implementation. Design and implementation. So then we have another aspect. What is that? Operation. Operation of the control. Operation of the control will be tested at the execution stage. Execution stage, we do two types of audit procedures. What are they? POC and substantive procedures. Audit procedures type data, POC and substantive procedures. POC is a option. POC is option. So then, if that depends on what, whether you are going to do POC or we are going to do full substantive procedure, that depends on audit approach. Audit approach. That will be derived from initial CRA. For the initial CRA, we use reliant control approach. If you are going to do reliant control, you have to do POC. If you are doing POC, then POC results should be adjusted to the initial CRA before you are performing substantive procedures. Right? So then once you are adjusting POC results to the initial CRA, we call that as what? Reassess CRA. Reassess CRA. Right? So then to decide to perform your substantive procedures, you are getting scope from reassess CRA. Always these two audit procedures are we have a relationship. Then control test karo because when substantive procedures අඩුවෙන් කරන්න වෙන්නේ. දෙකකට සම්බන්ධයක් තියෙනවා. Close relationship එකක්. If you are doing POC, if you are comfortable with the POC, you are relying on operating effectiveness. Then are you going to do detailed procedures? Substantive? No, very less substantive procedures. Sometimes you can depend on, you can stop with the PO ARP, not POD. Substantive procedures can be divided into two. What are they? ARP and POD. Test of details and analytical review procedures. Test of details क्या होता है? आपके details check करना, agreement check करना, objects check करना, legal confirmation check करना, documents refer करना, detail को भरना, invoice को भरना, ऐसा आपको बता देना है. Analysis करना comfortable है. After our analysis करना comfortable है पूरा POC, okay. What is exit वाला? Bill set එක බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක TOD. What is exit? Last එකත් average electricity calculation එකත් average එක බලන්න. Production එකත්. Take a ball, analyze them. What a comfort control because I studied the TOC. So then you have a clear link between TOC and the substantive procedures. Keep in mind that we are doing TOC, if you are satisfied with the result of TOC, you have to do less substantive procedures. That's about execution, right? It's about execution. All this story will be summarized to the audit plan. That's about this area. And then again, we have area number 2. Second slide we have. Area number 2. This is the second slide. Third slide. That's consistent with maturity levels and audit expert, related party, estimates, likewise. So the maturity level is the area you need to more focus. We know that a bit. Now I'm going to. This is really a bit complex and important. So you know that we had a discussion about basic maturity levels. So now I'm going to discuss how I'm going to do this. Other aspects, you're comfortable now. LOE, audit team, UBT, and significant accounts, how we are going to select significant accounts, scores. I think you are comfortable, right? So then last week we discussed once you are deciding scores, what's the link between significant account and significant scores, right? Are you okay? එහෙම කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. කොහොමද අපි ස්කොට් අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කරන්නේ? ස්කොට් කීයක් අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කරන්න ඕනද? When we had that detailed discussion, right? So the ones you are identifying scores, definitely you have to cover all the significant accounts and significant disclosure. And one at the point of your completing scott identification, all the significant accounts and significant disclosure should be represented at least once. Detail කියලා දෙන්න. ඒ වගේ link එක කියලා දෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ කොහොමද වෙන්නේ example එක කියලා දෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ මොනවද මේ? මේ මොනවද? මේ වර්ග තුන තමයි අපි මේ පනදාගෙන ඔඩිට් කරන්නේ. ඒක දාන්නද නේ? අපි අපේ ෆයිනෑන්ෂියල්ස් හැදලා තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද? මේක මේ 85 වෙනි පාර ලියන්න ඕනේ. ඒත් ලියාගන්න බලන්න. මොනවද හැදලා තියෙන්නේ? Account balance, disclosures and transactions. Account balance, disclosures and transactions. So then if there's a financial statement set, this consisted with account balances and disclosures. Simple, right? Account balances and disclosures. Balances here, no, here. So then, that financials, that account balances and disclosures came to the picture at the year end because of transactions. So then, as auditor, we need to audit these 3 elements in our audit journey. Right? So then we have a question. What is that question? Do we need to audit this 100%? Answer is no, because we are not going to issue a certificate, absolute opinion, right? We are going to just issue a assurance report. Because of that, we don't want to audit 100%, right? So then, what we have to do? Then we have to do a kind of a selection. We have to do a kind of a selection. What are the significant things we need to test? That is called significant account balances. What are the significant disclosures which will impact the stakeholders? That is called significant disclosures. What are significant transactions we need to select? That is called scores. You are unable to select significant transactions. Why? We are having millions of transactions. What we did, we classes, we cluster these transactions. That is called classes. From that classes, we identify significant classes of transactions. And then now we are going to do audit. For that each and every score, we are going to do a walkthrough. Under walkthrough, we study all the controls. And then CRA. Likewise, we have the detailed discussion. I think you are comfortable. So then now I move into maturity level calculation. Maturity levels. So then I already discussed this, right? Then to some extent we discussed this. First question we had, what is the reason we are having a maturity level? Maturity levels. Why we are having maturity levels? Materiality. What's the meaning? What's the meaning of materiality? Material. What do you mean by that? Material. There's something will be material to you. Material is impactful, will be relevant to you. Will be material. So then, in accounting, materiality will be discussed. Materiality concept we discussed. Yeah, in case one, if it is material, we can't set off asset and liability, right? So, in case one says, if it is material, you can't set off. Material means that is relating to, that's relevant for stakeholders' decisions, that will be impact to stakeholders' decisions. Right? So then, as auditor, why we are worrying about materiality? Because they are not going to take 100%. So then they have to do kind of a selection. To do that selection, we have a benchmark. To get that benchmark, we have to have a maturity level. To take decisions in the auditing field, we have to have a maturity level. Your decisions will be depend on what? Depend on overall financial statement level and then the assessment level. Your decisions may be two types. Financial statement level decisions, assessment level decisions. For these two levels, we should have two different maturity levels. That is called PM, planning maturity, and the TE, tolerable level. This is the overall financial statement maturity. This is the assessment level maturity. What decision? Take decision take maturity level in order. Yes, for your decision, you are having take decision take maturity level. Only part of the salary. What maturity level is the decision? But then so the decision we are having a maturity level. Wow, and the maturity level is yeah. All doubts. For different decisions, you are having different maturity levels, right? For financial statement also, as auditor, for different levels, different decisions, we are having different maturity levels. For assessment level decisions, you know that assessment level, right? It's not a rocket science. Whatever the balance, assessment level, right? Inventory valuation assessment, cash existence assessment, provision valuation assessment, right? The assistant level decision will be taken based on TE, total budget. While overall financial statement level decision will be taken based on PM, standing material. Keep in mind. So then we have two different material levels, PM and the TE. And then again we have SAD amount. So then we evaluate material or immaterial decisions based on SAD values. So then we need to have intervals here. In between TE and PM, in between SAD and TE, below SAD. After this amount, we consider as immaterial. Below SAD. Nominal value. Okay. Nominal value. Planning materiality. Tolerable value. Nominal value. Nominal value. Right. So then, how we are going to calculate this is the matter. How we are going to calculate this? PM, PE, and SAD for a particular company. How we are going to calculate it? It's pretty difficult. That's basically depend on auditor's judgment, but still difficult. Right? First, what you have to do is you need to decide a respective basis. Respective basis. Respective basis should be decided. Basis should be decided. Basis should be decided. What's the basis? How we are going to decide the basis? That depends on the perspective and expectation of the stakeholders. Perspective and expectation, stakeholders, perspective and expectation of the stakeholders will be decided the basis. Attendance you can help me. Anything clear the given doubt reaction again hearing and class out again the mommy one what there is no way attendance mark in perspective in the what dummy normally here normal attendance what they are doing I make it a camera. I get a gun from my what cycle and you are living through. I was cycle and the cycle is the end. Yeah. That's a hybrid basis. Then otherwise, satisfaction, the sake of attendance, the sake of satisfying the lecture, What are you again? කොහෙන්ද ඔෆිස් එකේ ඉඳලා කරන්න වැඩ කරනවා වගේ කරලා තියෙනවා ඒක ඇත්තටම හරියට තේරෙන්නේ මොකද ඔඩිටර්ස්ලට කොහොමද තේරෙන්නේ මොකද මුලින් කිව්වේ බලන්න lectures කරන්නේ ඔඩිට් එකේ ඔයාලා ඉගෙන ගන්නවා ඔඩිට් එක you can write that another thing is skepticism right reading the mind you can scan the mind the way you are thinking you මුල බලනවා කියන්න පුළුවන් ඒකේ කොහොමද එන්නේ ටිකක් සාරනේ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එකේ තමයි ඔඩිටර්ස් වල ප්‍රැක්ටිස් ඒ ડોක්ටර් දෙලා දැක්කම දෙවි කියන පුළුවන් වගේ එක ඔඩිටර්ට කොරා දැක්කම කොරා කියන ඒක නැති ටිකක් නෙමෙයි so then keep in mind මේ සර් එක vocab ඉගෙන ගන්නවා කියන්නේ from heart you have to learn this subject for the sake of getting A pass no need to come lectures you can read some of the YouTube video and I will share my YouTube video series will be there I can share that you can read that and just write the paper you will have A plus only that is there but once you are coming to the lectures mean you are getting this with a kind of a memory that's the long lasting knowledge you have examples the discussions if you are giving some answer all those part of your knowledge that's all about lecturing right all the visuals and the way I am writing here my gestures all those things creating a memory to you with the knowledge that's all about teaching right that's the benefit of a live lecture it's not like a video it's not like a kind of a routine activity it's purely a live activity so then get maximum out of that right okay so we are having perspective and expectation we need to select the basis so what ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා ඇයි අපි perspective and expectation බලන්නේ perspective and expectation of the stakeholders perspective and expectation of the stakeholders so then we are having draft financials what are our objective to issue the audit opinion then equal to the audited financials this audit opinion after adding this audit opinion to the financial that will be called as audited financials audited financials audited financials will be used by stakeholders right stakeholders for their decision making are you okay so then why stakeholder connected to what draft will use them use them audited financial statement as stakeholder may be regulator or investor or employee or shareholder different stakeholders they will use this audited financial statement so once they are using this audited financial statement they will trust upon this document that's what audit opinion they trust upon numbers because it's audited they are giving you a kind of a high comfort high trust upon this audit opinion right so then once you are auditing these procedures once you are selecting this significant account this code and accession or everything of this financial statement to issue this audit opinion we are based on what a benchmark what is that benchmark called as materiality level materiality level that's the benchmark we are using we are having financial statement level benchmark and the accession level benchmark we are using the benchmark once you are deciding that benchmark you have to select a basis right Once you are selecting, at the point of you are selecting that benchmark, you have to focus about perspective and expectation of these stakeholders. Otherwise, how we can take decisions? Once you are getting that decisions, if you are not focusing about these people, that result may be not valid. Right? Example. Wow, material basis select කරනවා වැරදි material basis එක මේ යුක්ති ගැන හිතන්න නැතුව. මෙයාලා පොරි වෙන balance එකක් මම miss කරනවා. Now missing the one of the key balance they are worrying about. So then that will be impacted to stakeholders. So once you are using your maturity levels, once you are calculating your maturity levels, focus about the basis. Focus about the basis. Right? So then, we can do another case. Did you get it? Once you are designing your maturity levels, always you need to focus about your stakeholders' expectation and perspective. So then expectation and perspective. Stakeholders' expectation mostly profitable entity, profit basis, right? Some of the entities, activity basis. සමහර කම්පැනි අපි මොනවද කරන්නේ? earning basis, and activity basis, and the capital basis. What do you mean by that? As a stakeholder, they are worrying about always the earnings. That's the most common basis. Earnings, profit-oriented activity. We need profits, gross margin. So we can base on earning basis. We are not focusing about earnings. We are focusing on activity. We don't care about business. Startup stage. Startup stage is profitability. Because that's revenue and operation activity. The profit our revenue. Sales activity based. Profitable nothing in this year. So the value another activity basis revenue expenses revenue and expenses. In other times, we don't care about the profitability. We don't care about the activity. But we are focusing only the capital. So the like company like Audit company, they don't do any operation. They focus about their capital and they are giving some funding, some subsidies and all. They manage the fund. So then they are not focusing about any revenue, any profit, and the focus is the capital. If it is so, stakeholders also focusing on that. So then what you have to do? The basis should be decided based on the expectation and perspective of the stakeholders. Keep in mind. Right? So, we are having three different maturity bases: activity based, earning based, and capital based. Here we have examples, levels of maturity levels: earning based, activity based, capital based. If you are doing activity based, what are the bases you can use? Revenue and operating expense. If you are using earning based, what are the slabs you can use? Pre-tax income, some other normalized earnings, EBIT, EBITDA, gross margin. Different levels can be used. Right? Different levels can be used. Right. So then these are the example basis. Here you can see perspective and expectation of. So, right. So then you can see what are the entities, the basis plus the entity. Profit oriented entity, normally they are using earning basis, right? Matured entities, normally using profitable basis. Startup phase you can use activity based or capital based. Break-even loss-making companies. Break-even loss-making companies, they can use activity-based, capital-based, plus if it is break-even, still you can use gross margin. That's why here we have a part. Non-profit making entities, basically they are using activity-based and Then are you okay with this? So then we have different bases for calculation, and then according to the perspective and expectation of shareholders. According to perspective and expectation will be depend on the nature of the business, whether it's profit making, startup business, mature business, kind of holding company. Based on that, your maturity basis will be changed. It will be changed. That the simple maturity amount will be changed. Right? So then here we have different maturity levels, as I mentioned here, PL, PE, and the SAD. The usage of these things. PM we are using for overall financial statement level decisions. And overall financial statement level decisions. Issuing the audit opinion. As I said, you know this four cells, right? Qualified, adverse, disclaimer. Disclaimer, adverse, restatement, and scope limitation. Material plus pervasive. Have you seen this? Yes, we discussed this. This is the second time I'm drawing this here, right? As per SLA US 705, modified opinion, right? Once you are issuing your opinion, this is the guideline you are using, right? Once you are issuing your opinion, you have to base on what? PM, right? PM. You have to finalize summary of audit differences, and summary of audit differences will be cross-checked with the PM. So once you are doing audit procedures, you are taking decisions by using the T. ඒක හොඳට note කරගන්න ඕනේ. Wow. Procedures කරනවා. Once you plan audit procedures, based on the plan audit procedures, once you are performing audit procedures, whatever the sample selection, differences, all those things, the maturity calculation, maturity level, the benchmarking will be done by using PE. It's the level you have to use for the accession level. Whatever the accession level differences will be summarized and cross-checked with what? With the PM. With its impact to the overall financial statement. Accession impacted, but some of the things will not impact to the financial statements. Right? It's not material to the financial statement. Accordingly, different financial maturity levels having different objectives, perspectives, purposes. First one, PM, the overall scope of the audit procedures, and then the statement and audit and forming the audit opinion. Evaluating the statement of audit opinion and forming the audit opinion. That's called PM. Right. Then again, I am explaining. You know that once you are doing audit procedures, planned audit procedures, we plan audit procedures, now we execute, right? Once you are doing selection and once you are doing samples and once you are doing TOD and ARP, you are facing some challenges, issues. That issues may be divided into two. What are they? One is this statement, right? The one is what? Scope limitation. Scope limitation. Right? Statement and scope limitation. Statement and scope limitation. These are the two challenges once you are doing audit procedures. මොනවද වැරදි හොවෙන්න පුළුවන් statement මොනවද fraud and mistakes. වැරදි හොවෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ මොනවද Some instance, you have scope limitations. You can't perform audit procedure because of this limitation. So then you are going to check additions of PP and E. They are not ready to provide whatever the payment details or deed or whatever the source documents. What's that? It's a scope limitation. වැරදිද හරිද බලන්න evidence දෙන්න. That is called scope limitation. You are going for inventory verification. You are not going to, they are not willing to give access to that. They are telling that this is a kind of a restricted area, you can't see that. If it is so, it's kind of a scope limitation, right? So then once you are doing audit procedures, you can face these two challenges, two issues, two kind of the observations, right? So after having this, what's your next step? The next step, you will inform to the management. This should be material. Once you are, how you are going to evaluate this? What are the material items? More than TE. More than TE balance. More than TE misstatement. More than TE scope limitations. You have to inform to the management. Less than TE. Less than TE. More than TE. More than TE and sorry. In between T, more than T always we have to identify, right? In between SAD and the T. SAD and the T. Right? So then what you have to do? Whatever the differences you have to summarize. Whatever the differences you have to summarize. We have another step before that. We need to inform to the management after getting their responses. Responses mean whatever the scope limitation they are providing this evidence. Whatever the statement they are going to adjust it. If it is so, they are willing to correct it. So then after notification to the management, according to their responses, you are ending with what? Uncorrected statements, uncorrected scope limitations. So you are getting that list. The total should be cross-checked with the PM before you are choosing your opinion. This is called summary of audit differences. Summary of audit issues. Simple. Summary of audit issues total should be cross-checked with the PM before you are issuing the audit opinion. That's all about what? When evaluating effect of identified statements on the audit and forming an audit opinion. At the point of issuing the audit opinion, the impact should be evaluated. That is for that what we are using PM. PM. TE. This transaction level for sample selection and then identify significant accounts and identify key items and the variance analysis threshold, all those sample testing will be done by based on TE, accession level decisions. Right? Accession level decision. As I said, to select significant accounts, what's the magnitude level we are using? TE. More than TE, right? And then this is the nominal value. Less than this we consider as immaterial. Keep in mind. The threshold at which we accumulate audit differences on SAD. Difference below our SAD nominal amount are considered clearly private. Private means immaterial. Private value. So then that's about the usage of different material levels. Different material levels. So then that's about material calculation. So we discussed why we are using material levels and then basis and levels and other thing is other areas we focus is material level very unique to that planning, that particular year. The last year material level will be different than this year material level. But last year to this year that can't be turned around because last year expectation and perspective similar to this year. If there's no turnaround effect in the business, material level should be in line with the last year to this year. That's kind of normal focus. That's one thing. Other thing is material level should be reassessed. Material level should be reassessed during the field work. During the field work means interim period you are doing the material level calculation. You are doing the material level calculation. And then whatever the entry, so then whatever the basis you are using, let's say pre-tax income, your basis, right? So then whatever the entry you are going to pass, that will impact to the pre-tax income, right? Pre-tax income will be impacted. Uh, that's really important. Pre-tax income, yeah. Pre-tax income will be impacted by the whatever the code or mistakes. Once they are passing rectification entry, that will be impacted. So then again you need to calculate the material level for that year. So then reassessment of material level should be done during the period. Audit field again entry passed and period or material level को reassess करना. So then your material basis should be tallied in the final financial statement after passing all the entries, right? That's really important. Material calculation. And then other thing is if you are having if you are in a group company. So it's complex thing, right? If you are in a group company, your parent auditor they are and the group companies are their subsidiaries, right? So then each and every party should be done their audit. Group is a separate entity as a group, and individual companies are there. So then, once you are having a group, uh, normally normally for their group they have to prepare the financial statement, and individual company level they have to prepare the financial statement. For the group, we should have auditor. For the company, we should have auditor. For group auditor, we can call as parent auditor. Individual company auditor, component auditor. Component auditor and the parent auditor. Parent auditor, what they are doing, they do calculate the material level for the group level, and then that will communicate to the subsidiary. That will communicate it to the subsidiary. Uh, that will be communicated to the subsidiary. Group level and company level. Group level and the company level. So then once you are in this type of engagement, you are having two different maturity levels. If you are the auditor for this company, we are having two different maturity levels. What are they? Material level is calculated for the individual financial statement, and then material level allocated by the group auditor. Keep in mind. Two different things. For their perspective, they will allocate this is the material, we need the numbers. Why? After auditing this financial statement audit having two purposes. But one is to report to the group to finance consolidation. Other one is to issue the individual financial statements. Two different perspectives from this auditor. So then need to focus this material level and this material level. We are having two material levels. What you have to do now? Some instance, this material level high. Some instance, this material level high. What we have to do is, we have to use the lowest materiality. So then we can use both purposes. Understood? So that's about if we are in a group environment. Group environment, how we can use the materiality levels. So then that's it. That is the basis the reassessment, and then maturity levels, usage, and perspective, expectation, all those things discussed. Now you can start, you can study about these maturity levels. That's about maturity levels. I think you are okay with that. And then here I have mentioned uh, as a summary, risk, audit risk, right? These are the responses. Test of controls, substandard procedures, other general procedures, and JE testing. These are the basic responses and audit risk. This is the combination, right? Okay. Uh, අපි ඒ ටික කරලා කරලා නැහැ ටෙවල් මෙහෙම කරනවා. ආලි ටෙවල් එක දාලා ඊට පස්සේ ටෙස්ට් එකක් දෙනවා. පොඩි assignment එක. I will upload to the LMS. ඒක කරා. ඉක්මනට කරන්න ඕනේ. It's a typical one. Last week I agreed to share that. So then I did share, but today we'll do that. That's a assignment 2. Right? What you have to do is, I'll upload now. What you have to do is, you need to take a paper, small paper, and do the correct answers and upload to the LMS. Right. You can go to the LMS. Assignment 2, agree, disagree, right? You have 20 questions. I have given more time, right? 13 hours. Today you can upload, but it's better to do that. Uh, with the assignment, we have 20 statements. 20 statements. You have to mention just put one and agree or disagree. So don't write this again, right? It's waste of time. Put number one and put agree or disagree or yes or no, whatever. Right. And upload to the LMS.